So I think this is kind of the trouble with the mating bond as it is depicted in ACOTAR these days, because the mating bond is not a replacement for the three most important little words. And the reason why it isn't is because I think the words I love you are meant to open up a dialogue. Like, what does this mean? Like, I love you. That is a declaration. Someone can reciprocate that declaration. I can't talk today. They could reject that declaration. They could navigate what that love means to them. Either way, I love you is always kind of like the beginning of something. It's the beginning of a conversation. You're my mate is kind of the ending of a conversation. So Phazand, for example, we see them, getting to know each other in A Court of Mist and Fury. We see them falling in love in A Court of Mist and Fury. But then it comes out that Rhys is Feyre's mate, and Rhys knew about it the whole time, and Feyre is really upset about it, and she gets taken to, I believe the House of Wind, and paints eyes everywhere, like just graffitiing up that household. And then when Rhysand comes to explain himself, it's kind of like, you're my mate, you've always been my mate, and all of these things, and then Feyre accepts the bond. She doesn't go into the lying part, except, to say don't do that again, and Rhysand just does it again, at least twice more. But Rhys saying that he loves Feyre opens up a dialogue. Rhysand saying he's attracted to Feyre opens up a dialogue. Feyre saying she's attracted to Rhysand opens up a dialogue. Rhys saying, you are my mate, it's kind of like, we're inevitable. So we will always end up here. And I think Feyre being 20 years old and already having feelings for Rhys, she just kind of rolled with it. And considering he's the High Lord of a major court in Prythian and was willing to risk it all for her, she could have done worse. Let me amend that, resource-wise and security-wise, she could have done worse. I still don't like this man. This isn't to say that, the fated mate trope is bad, and there are definitely times that I personally enjoy it. But I think the problem is that once the mating bond comes into question, there is no more, dialogue for that couple. And Nesta and Cassian are a really good example of this. These two have problems. They have real relationship problems that the book touches upon, but it doesn't really go anywhere because Cassian reveals the mating bond that he knew about it this whole time. And that also calls the basis of their relationship into question, because aside from the mating bond and him being compelled to her, it seems like he barely even likes her. But he knew that she was his mate and that his sanity was at risk if this didn't go through. So it was inevitable. He gave into it, and eventually she did too. And that's why I think the Elaine-Lucien mating bond could be really, really interesting, because it's not like these two have chemistry right now. They could later, but as of now, they don't. And because both of them know about their very real mating bond, I do believe that this is a real mating bond, by the way. And because they both know about it, they get to establish the parameters of their relationship. This is a brand new thing. Is this a thing where I want to see Elaine and Asriel together? Yes. But I also think that this could be the start of a brand new way to look at mating bonds in ACOTAR, and just a new way to reinvent the trope. Because at the end of the day, there's this mating bond between them that might compel them to each other. But when Lucien sees Elaine for the first time, he says that Jasminda was this, and this, and Jasminda had chosen him, but Elaine was thrown at him. I don't see how you could retcon your way out of that line. And then on Elaine's end, you have, oh, he's my mate, so that entitles him to my time, to my affections or whatever. They both have their reservations about this. And I think a cool way for them to navigate their bond, especially if this isn't something that can be broken, they navigate the terms of their relationship. They navigate everything that has to do with, their mating bond, their connection to each other, and they discuss it. And this could be a "you're my mate" declaration that opens up a dialogue rather than closes one. This also opens the door for my precious babies to get together who've never done anything wrong in their lives. But honestly, really, like, this is kind of like a sidebar thing. I just really want to see the Aleutian mating bond do something different from Phazan and Nestians and open up a dialogue rather than close one.